Yesterday we worked a little bit with the navel, and we worked a little bit with the second depression point. And we worked a lot by trying kind of, to move a little bit out of the structure of the mind through the not a thing or nothing, or through the unknown into deeper levels of ourselves. So also what was mentioned yesterday is that why we kind of are stuck in a very limited area of the mind, like in a contraction of the mind, which is busy mind, or the controlling mind, the rational mind, which kind of tries to keep everything safe and under control. And that's already saying it, safe and under control. Safe and under control means that it's not safe. There is this deep, deep belief of not being safe. And this deep belief of not being safe is connected with, the fear to get hurt, the fear of pain. And maybe this is also connected with a belief that life should be perfect. Life should be perfectly good. No pain should come to you. No challenges should come to you. No difficulties should come to you. This is how life should be. And if life is not like this, if life is not fulfilling every wish you have, you do something wrong. There's something wrong with you. It's a personal punishment. Something wrong with your attitude, or the way you think, or with your emotions, what you feel. So you have to change. You have to change in order think differently, feel differently, be differently, in order for life to give you what you want. So if you think positively...
Sometimes it's the opposite. I mean, if I'm too successful, then I get resistance.
Exactly. That's... we come to that later. Give me some chance. Yeah. So when you look to this, there is a lot of beliefs we are holding which are connected with life. And it's true that sometimes you're more successful, and being more successful, there is a fear that the success will go away, or there is a fear that the success will bring you to a position where you don't want to be, or give you too much responsibility. There is many different possibilities there. There could be a fear that, when the success goes away, it's such a loss, it's better not to take the full success. Or there could be a fear that success brings a certain responsibility. Or there is an inner feeling that the success which is coming to you is not really reflecting how you feel about yourself. Success doesn't mean that you're really seen to the depth, or that you're in inner peace with life or with yourself. It doesn't matter so much if there's success or failure. What matters is really the inner fight which is coming. And the inner fight is connected with yourself, and it's connected also with life. So it's what we project on life, and what life should deliver us, what we think, what we want from life in a way. And at the same time, what we demand from ourselves in interaction with life, what life brings us. So we don't trust life, but even more, we don't trust ourselves dealing with life. So we don't trust ourselves dealing with success. We don't trust ourselves with the daily things which are coming towards us with life. It's like there is a lack of self-confidence there. When something is painful or disappointing, what's happening is that we sense pain, or we feel disappointment. And there is quite a difficulty to really allow this, to allow disappointment, to allow pain, to allow all these areas, these negative emotions, which we call negative emotions, which are coming forward in interaction with life. So the point I want to bring forward is, if we have a difficulty with this and we make a kind of a rupture between us and our lives by not accepting the life as it is and not accepting yourself as how it's reacting to life, whatever yourself is, then basically what is happening is that we move into a split, in a rupture. We separate ourselves from life. We separate ourselves from a part of ourselves. We separate ourselves from our fellow men. We lose the feeling of belonging.
When we're experiencing this disappointment or pain or something like that?
The moment we are not able to kind of accept life as it is, when we draw back from life as it is. You understand? You can see the effect?
Yeah, but drawing back can have very many different ways. I mean, it doesn't have to be that somebody is really pulling completely out of life. It's more of an internal attitude.
It's an internal attitude, and it's a drawing back from certain aspects of life, which mean we only want the positive part, maybe, what we see as positive. We don't want the negative part, but even the positive part we cannot totally take in, because there is this perfect mixture between both sides, always. In a way, what Russell Williams is saying, he says, you know, the world is perfect, but I cannot say if it's perfectly good or perfectly bad. It's both, in a balance.
So the pulling away of certain things that are positive, so to speak, even the positive, is because there is some kind of inner knowledge that there is a negative to that.
You know, if you take the flowers here in the middle, you know, and you say, okay, you know, I really love the yellow of these flowers. So they're really attracting, but the brown I don't like. The brown color is really is not good. So are we really able to, in the depth, connect with the flower? We pull away from the whole flower if there is only one aspect. You know, we cannot welcome. You understand? So the tendency we have is to hold on then to the yellow of the flower and ignore the brown of the flower. But then we're not connecting with the flower anymore. This is very much the same, in different words, what Georgi spoke about yesterday. We hold on to a projection of the flower. The real flower is the whole flower. Real life is every aspect of life. So the moment we draw back from one aspect, we hold on to a projection of what life should be. And still we sense life, we feel life, we are alive. And it's not that everything is lost. But we lose the connection with the fullness of life, life itself. We lose the connection with the depth of ourselves. We lose the connection with being. and we lose the connection with the beloved. So this whole movement we are making in a way is what we're doing is that we are placing conditions. We're placing conditions on ourselves, we're placing conditions on the people around ourselves, and we place these conditions because we want to control. And we want to control because we don't feel safe. We have a fear of what life is bringing us. It's the same story again and again. It's the same cycle. And there is something about life which is kind of interesting, that life itself is inevitable. I hope I say it's good in English.
Inevitable. Yeah.
Inevitable. What happens, happens. We not really can influence so much. You know, it's not that when we get born and we're born in a family that we can say, okay, change parents now. You know, if we control our mothers enough, you've got a different mother. She becomes a blonde, a bimbo. If you want a blonde bimbo as a mother, or whatever. You want to change your father, you know, he's authoritative and he becomes a pussy. You know, it doesn't work like this. Their attitude towards life, their attitude towards you is not changing. You know, we can be really, really nice, and try to please the whole world, everybody. We still get rejected. We want a sunny day and it's going to rain. We never want to lose somebody, and still people are dying on us. We really take good care of our health, that we never will suffer illness, and still we get ill. So we can try to avoid a lot of things, but still life is bringing us exactly what we need. According to what we need to experience to be more fully to life. It's not that life is bringing us, all the ingredients are in life. But then the ingredients we have more difficulty with, we kind of have a tendency to averse or to grasp. So we're holding on to it, and they enlarge, they become more important. You know, it's the same what Georgi said yesterday. You know, we have this singer and who is singing and everybody is applauding. But there's 3 people in the 200 crowd who kind of don't like her. So if there is an issue with rejection, these 3 people will overcrowd the 197 other people who really like her. This is filling our horizon. So what life is teaching us is basically, you know, learn to deal with rejection. It's in the interaction between us and life, it's teaching us, you know, learn to deal with rejection. We get the pain of rejection again and again and again, till we're able to contain it. We're able to feel it to the depth of the self-confidence that we're able to deal with rejection. So, you know, we all have this deep, deep wish to belong, to be part of. We're social animals. And this is a big drive. You know, basically, in the basis there's two drives. There's a drive to be an individual, to have the freedom to express yourself and to give form to life in your own way. To have the freedom to express your qualities in a way which feels right to you in the depth. To have the freedom to make up your own mind, to come to your own understanding. To have the freedom to have your own impressions, your own feelings, your own perception. And on the other side, we really, really want to belong. And that seems kind of, two different things. It's like, in order to belong, we have to give up part of this freedom. In order to belong, we have to have the same feelings. Or, in order to belong, some feelings are not allowed. Some sensations, some emotions are not allowed. In order to belong, we have to have the same beliefs. In order to belong, we have to have the same perception. In order to belong, we have to express the same kind of qualities. So it seems to be that there is a contradiction between belonging and being an individual. Between having a separate form, having a unique way to perceive life, have a unique palette of qualities, and being part of, belonging. So let's investigate together. Is this really true? Is this a contradiction? Are they opposites? Individuality and belonging. Being part of. So to be an individual, most of us kind of have a sense of this. But what's the sense of belonging? What is belonging, being part of? Why is this belonging surrounded by so much fears? As is being an individual. So let's look at when we don't belong. We have a feeling we don't belong. We are not part of it. This is not necessarily being an individual. Not at all. It's not that when we don't belong, we are an individual. We can kind of try to move into be more an individual, but there is really not, it's not automatically that you're an individual then. You're not belonging. You're an outcast. You feel an outcast. You don't feel at home. You don't feel connected. So in this not belonging, what it brings us is a deep feeling of loneliness, not of being alone. The individual can be alone. Loneliness is something else. So if there is a loss of the feeling of belonging,
When there's a loss, is that the word?
yeah, a loss of the feeling of belonging, when there is a loss with the connection of the feeling of belonging, that's better to say it like this, then what comes forward is loneliness. Loneliness is born. So, when do we have the feeling that we don't belong? What's interfering with our feeling of belonging? So, when you really look at it in the depth, what's interfering with our feeling of belonging is basically when there is a rejection of our individuality, of our individual perception, our individual beliefs, and our individual emotions, our individual form.
It comes from the outside? It
It
can come from the inside,
It
for
both,
sure, but
both from the inside and from the outside.
Because even when you say there's a rejection of our individuality or something, there's actually, it's a perceived rejection of our individuality. It's not even necessarily that
It's
there
a perceived.
was.
Oh yeah, but you know, when there, it can be perceived, but when it's internalized and it
Oh, no,
becomes
then
a
it's
truth,
reality.
it
I know.
becomes an illusionary reality. It's how it is.
Right, no, I understand that.
I'm too ugly to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. This becomes a reality. This becomes a deep belief. It's a very simple thing, but it's about your form. I'm too stupid. I'm not smart enough. I'm not loving enough. My love is not good. My love is not good enough. I'm too emotional. I'm too angry. I'm too fearful. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Something is not okay in me. Something is really wrong. So we have to make it good. We are ashamed because we are not okay. We are guilty because we are not okay. We separate ourselves because we're not okay. We're isolating ourselves as if we have a disease which will infect others. And we isolate ourselves also from being in this, from life, from being. We isolate ourselves from the beloved. And we really work hard to become okay, you know, maybe if you're enlightened, you are okay. Maybe if you are a pop star, you are okay. Maybe if you're the bank director, you're okay. Maybe if you're very, very successful, you're okay. Maybe if you are married and have children, you're okay. And life will be okay. Because it goes together. If you are okay, life will be okay. So when we look to this, we build on this pain, on this misunderstanding, on this illusion. And I'll come later to this. What we build on this is a whole person who's striving to be okay. A whole adjustment, which in its roots is not okay. So we so much believe in this that we have to be different in order, as we are right now, in order to belong. These conditions we place on life, these conditions we place on ourselves, to surrender to the beloved, to surrender to life, to surrender to being.
We have to be different than what we are.
Than what we are.
Yeah, but and the conditions that we're placing is...
The conditions we're placing is that we have to be okay.
Okay.
First, you know, before I can open up and really come to life, I have to deal with my anger. I should be never angry again. Or something should change.
Okay.
There is conditions. And the crazy thing is that in the end, if we really surrender to what we are, to how our physical body is right now, it is what it is. How life is right now, how we perceive life right now, here. How we experience life right now. When we move into that direction, instead of investing all our effort and energy in becoming okay, to change, to place conditions, when we move in a way of deeper acceptance of our own lessons, of our own difficulties. This is difficult for me. So I have to learn to deal with this. I have a difficulty with disappointment. So I have to learn to deal with disappointment, to get less fearful of disappointment. I have a difficulty with rejection. So I have to learn to deal with the horrible feeling rejection is giving me. I've got a difficulty with guilt. I've got a difficulty with shame. I've got a difficulty with insecurity. I've got a difficulty with fear. We are not perfect. We've got loads of difficulties. And we've got loads of qualities. We've got loads of beauty and loads of ugliness. Everything is there, good and bad. We're perfectly good and we're perfectly bad. As life is, as the world is, we're part of this world. We cannot deny that we don't belong to the world. The world is not separating from us. We're separating from the world. We cannot deny that we are part of this universe. The universe cannot separate from us. We are separating from the universe. We cannot deny that we are part of our mother. We cannot deny that we are part of our father. We cannot deny that we are part of our family. We cannot deny that we are part of the human race. So right now, being part of this world, we belong to this world in whatever form we take. There is no question about it if you think about it. It's absolutely not logical to say, okay, everybody's belonging to this world except Bart, because Bart is not good enough to belong to this world. He's not okay, so he doesn't belong to the world. So that means that this world also created a Bart which is not okay, which is part of the world. Otherwise I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be part. You understand?
Even if you're not okay, you were created and you're part here, and you're here even in your not okayness.
You are what you are. You're built like you're built. It's kind of entering a wood, and in the wood there is this little flower, and we go to this flower and we say, you don't belong here. So the flower is absolutely part of the wood. It's connected with the whole wood. And we decide that this flower doesn't belong here. Based on what? Based on an idea of how it should be.
The wood should
Not
be
how it is. In how it should be. Illusion. How it should be is always an illusion. It is what it is. So the same we're doing to the beloved. We don't belong to the beloved. wait. When we feel the beloved in the depth of ourselves and maybe responding from the outside, wait, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready. First, I need to change my fears. First, I need to change, my mind. I'm just right now thinking about sex. I'm thinking very negatively. I feel really a deep disappointment. So don't touch me right now. I'm not okay. We separate. If we place ourselves in the full light of the beloved, in the full love of the beloved, what's there is us, exactly as we are. What falls off is all the conditions, all the pretense, everything which is not real, and that's such a relief. Just, to be totally allowed to be, to experience, to think, to perceive, to express in your own way. Such a freedom. To enjoy your own life exactly as it is. To feel connected, to feel in the depth that your own life, exactly as it is right. Exactly how it should be. To feel this deep feeling of belonging. Being the right person in the right moment, in the right place, without having to do anything for it. Without having to deserve it. It's just right as it is. Right here, right now. And it never has been different. And it never will be different. We never needed to separate, and we will never need to separate. This is a misunderstanding. It's really a misunderstanding that we don't belong, that we're not part of. It's a misunderstanding.